Happy Canada Day, everyone! Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Fire Red with only one Meditite was alright for a glass cannon. Let's use something worse. The most Canadian Pokemon I could think of. Today's the day that we figure out, would I be able to beat Pokemon Platinum with a team of only one Bidoof? So Bidoof is a really weak one, basically the Rattata of Platinum. I used this guy back on my first ever Pokemon Black run, 3 years ago? And I remember it being awful. It's got decent health for a first form Pokemon, but overall terrible stats, with especially low speed. 250 total stats is on par with Rattata and Pidgey, so I'm not gonna assume that this run is winnable. This Pokemon is really weak. By level up, we learn some really cool moves like the Defense Curl and Rollout combo, Yawn, and Hyper Fang. Nothing absolutely amazing, but I bet that the Defense Curl and Rollout combo can get us some early wins. TMs change the game though, since this is one of those normal type Pokemon who happen to be able to learn a massive list of moves. The type coverage is pretty wide too. I see Electric, Ice, Ghost, Ground, and Steel. Plus we can get Grass Knot for a grass move. Just one, but it's something. Weirdly enough, no attacking water moves, even though this evolves into a water type. I'm thinking that by the end of the run we'll need Return and Ice Beam. I doubt that I'll keep Defense Curl and Rollout the whole run, so maybe I'll swap those for something like Thunderbolt and Rest. Like always, I'm writing this script as I go through with the challenge, so all this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I really don't know about this one. I guess our health is okay, but we're slow and don't hit very hard. Maybe we can win at level 100, but I'm not getting my hopes up. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Bidoof. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So, right off the bat, I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Turtwig with Bidoof so that we can do the whole run with it. I picked to replace Turtwig so that our rival would have Infernape, probably the hardest for us to fight. It's Canada Day, so I thought I'd name him after the Canadian Prime Minister. Bret Hart. Looks like our nature is quiet, so more special attack and less speed. The speed drop is probably going to cause problems early on, but I'm hoping that the extra special attack pays off. Our ability is unaware, so we ignore enemy stat changes. That's pretty cool, since it means that anytime our opponent is boosting their attack or defense, they're basically wasting times. Not that I remember that being a really big thing that they do in Gen 4, to be honest. I remember them buffing their stats a lot more in Gen 3. So it's time for early game travel. We're using a Pokemon from around the start of the game against other Pokemon from around the start of the game, so things go how you'd expect. For the first couple levels, you have to take it real careful to heal often, since we can't really afford to take much damage yet. But as usual, it only takes a few levels before you're significantly stronger than wild Pokemon in early game. We don't learn any awesome moves quite yet by level up, but in Platinum, the Professor gives you the TM for Return right at the start. That's literally going to be our strongest move the whole run, although it builds power with Friendship, so still in early game, it's probably going to be real weak right now. Tackle's only 35 power in this game though, so Return will get better than that pretty quickly. Now let's go squash our rival. So the first rival fight was a weird one. It was a fight that wasn't hard, but we easily could have lost, if that makes any sense. They just spammed Growl and Leer on me a ton, so our stats are just horrible. Our ability may make it so that their non-speed stat changes don't matter, but we'll still get affected by our own stat changes, so our damage fell off a cliff. We ended up winning just because we crit, bypassing our attack loss and taking him out. Next up after this is the Rock Gym. Now I don't actually know how I want to handle this. I'm sure with some levels, Return might do a few points of damage, but at the same time, Defense Curl and Rollout might end up being a lot stronger. Although there's more luck involved with that. I'm not totally sure how I want to handle this right now. I think that I'll try Return first, and if that does badly, then I'll try Rollout. Yeah, Return did just about nothing, but Rollout did pretty well. The problem is, we're still not hitting hard enough. Geodude always takes us down, usually with a sliver of health left. Considering he has 3 Pokemon and I'm failing to take out the first one, I'll need to get stronger. It's okay, early game, we don't need many levels to get the advantage. Let's just come back a few levels higher. 4 levels later! So the start of the fight goes pretty well, with us building up our rollout against Geodude. We lost about half of our health, but by the time we took him out, we had so much power built up that we one-shot the Onyx right after. Problem is, that was at the end of a rollout, and Craniados was next. Knowing I didn't have time to build up another rollout, I went for Headbutt, knowing that our friendship likely wasn't high enough for Return to be stronger. Unfortunately, we're slower and got taken out. Okay, 2 or 3 more levels, and I think that I'd be able to beat Geodude in 1 less hit. That would let me continue a rollout into the Craniados fight. Level 21. Okay, so our rollout doesn't quite work out. Turns out Onyx only gets 1 shot if it's the final rollout in the sequence, so that didn't work out. I did get him to waste his potion though, so against Craniados, we were obviously gonna win. I mean, until we flinched twice in a row to lose. So I did the whole fight over again, and obviously that time we won after getting a crit. Nope, just kidding. We flinched some more and lost again. Okay, the try after that, and we had a bit more health going into the fight, and we didn't flinch, so we won. Man, being slower than your opponent is brutal, and that's probably gonna happen this whole run. Okay, with the Rock Gym done, we get to travel again. We've got Commander Mars, the Grass Gym, and Commander Jupiter. Now, I'm not actually too worried about Mars and Jupiter since I think Bidoof will be okay in those fights, but I am worried about the Grass Gym. I'm pretty sure that they have Leech Seed, and that would be a massive issue for us, so I've either got to be lucky enough or strong enough that we never give them a chance to use it. Let's just fight our way there and see what level we end up at. Oh, and because Bidoof is usually what I use to slap HMs on in this run, I actually have multiple Bidoof. Looks kind of funny on the Poketech. Okay, Commander Mars was pretty interesting this time. I used Curl and Rollout against Zubat, but as soon as I got to Purugly, she used Fake Out to halt the rollout. I tried to just spam Return, but it actually did less damage than I expected. It probably would have been better if I just used Rollout again instead, but we still just hardly won. Next up is this forest where everything is a double battle. This place is awesome since you get fully healed after every fight by your partner. Her Chansey isn't very useful in combat, but the free heals after make it all worth it. This is where I'm going to get my last few levels before the Ghost Gym. Wish me luck. Okay, so I gave this fight a few tries before figuring out a good strategy. Turtwig always seems to use Reflect right away, so I curl, hit a headbutt, then use Rollout. On this try, we lucked out and took it out before it could crit us with Razor Leaf, and because of building up the power of Rollout, we one-shot the Charm right after. Problem is, last is Roserade, and we got outsped and taken out right away. That means I'm grinding. I pretty much always have to grind here though. This Grass Gym is honestly one of the harder early gyms in these games. It can be really brutal if you don't have anything that can handle the Roserade at the end. We can't get our Ice Beam until after the 3rd gym though, so we just have to get stronger and overpower her Pokemon. Man, this is brutal. 5 levels later and I get this perfect run where I get to Roserade on our last rollout, so I figured we'd get a one-shot, but we're too slow and just get taken out. I'm gonna have to end up grinding for speed more than anything else, aren't I? Okay, finally. 3 levels later, and Rollout is able to take out Turtwig early, causing it to hit the apex of its rollout against Roserade for a one-shot. We have way more health thanks to their move choice too, so we didn't have to worry about getting taken out by Magical Leaf. With that win, we're back to travel. We've got this galactic hideout base to clear, not so much because I'm worried about the Jupiter at the end of this place, but mostly because after that is the Ghost Gym, and the more I think about it, the more I realize I have no idea what I'm gonna do in that fight. Yeah, I could use Defense Curl and Rollout, but her first Pokemon uses Will-O-Wisp to burn us. That cuts our attack in half and damages us the whole fight. I don't think I'd win if that happens, but it's not like I can just hit with Return instead. I'm not seeing any obvious good TMs on my list that we can get before the Ghost Gym though, so that really might be what we have to do. Looks like Commander Jupiter was easy. That's good, because if we couldn't handle her, then we'd be doomed in the Ghost Gym. Alright, we're traveling to the Ghost Gym now. I'm really not feeling great about this fight. I can grab a Shell Bell in town before I fight the gym leader, so at least I can heal a little bit while fighting, but I don't think that is going to offset the burn. Honestly, I think that if I get burned, I just lose. Maybe I can find some kind of move that I could one-shot Duskull with so that it won't burn me, but that's a long shot considering we can't get Shadow Ball yet. I think I might just end up having to grind after this. But while we're traveling, this is a great time to tell you about this week's sponsor, Chimera. Yeah, they're back. I told you it was temporary, you guys worry too much. Hey, would you look at that? Summer has finally come to my part of Canada. In fact, I'm doing this voiceover after coming in from doing the lawn. I hear lawnmowers all day, every day, including while I'm doing this voiceover right now. I mean, it was lawnmower weather for me, so I guess it's lawnmower weather for them too. It's good outdoor weather, and that's why you need to get some good outdoor clothes. Personally, you know I'm a big fan of the Chimera plain t-shirt, since I'm a plain t-shirt kind of guy. In fact, I'm live streaming the editing of this video right now on YouTube, and I bet there's a good chance that I'm wearing a Chimera shirt in that stream too, so future me can attest. Alright, for future me did correctly anticipate that I am indeed wearing a Chimera shirt right now. Chimera logo right there. What future me, or past me, didn't properly predict is that I am also wearing Chimera sweatpants. So if you want to support the channel and look good while doing it, hit up the link in the description to go to Chimera and pick up something comfortable and breezy to wear this summer. If you're gonna go pick something up, then make sure to use the promo code Mah-Dry-Bread at checkout to get 10% off your order and to let them know that I sent you. Thanks. Yeah, this didn't go well for exactly the same reason we thought. Burn destroys our attack and hurts us the whole fight. Even with Defense Curl buffing out Rollout, we do so little damage that we couldn't beat Duskull on the entire first rollout. Once we got to Mismagius, we easily went down. They can't use ghost attacks on us since we're normal type, but Will-O-Wisp still works. I mean, I guess I could try this until Will-O-Wisp misses, but man, it would have to miss a good 3 or 4 times for us to actually take it down without fainting, and I don't think that's happening. Okay, after grinding up to level 45, I made a few more tries. On this one, I managed to hit 5 hits in a row. We still got burned right away, but things went about as perfectly as they could. The first 3 hits took out Duskull, the 4th hit was a one-shot Mismagius, and 5th was a one-shot on Haunter. It was a bit of a long grind, but I was worried I'd be here all day. That wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be. Right after is our rival. Unfortunately, no matter what move we use, Staravia always lands at super low health, then outspeeds us to hit Endeavor to bring us to almost no health, so we can't win. If I had a weaker move that we could use, then finish it off without ever letting its health drop low enough to wreck us with Endeavor, that would be great. But we don't have a weaker move, so I have to go grind until I can one-shot it. Okay, after another 5 levels, I can Defense Curl, one-shot Staravia with Return, then roll out to beat the rest of his team easily. What an awful fight. Alright, so the fighting gym is coming up. We're a normal type and rollout is resisted, so I'm not really feeling confident, but we stand a chance. I'm gonna convert our money into coins, play the slots for a while to get Ice Beam, and hope that between that and Return we can just bulldoze our way through. So, literally every single Pokemon in the entire gym was a one-shot until the gym leader's Machoke, who hurt us a little bit, but Lucario at the end shut us down. He was faster than us and did so much damage with Drain Punch that he would fully heal himself after her Ice Beams that I spent so long trying to get, by the way. I was hoping our higher special attack would have made that work better. It didn't. Even with Return, we didn't do much. Yeah, despite all the over-leveling, we're stuck again. Okay, after grinding all the way to 57, we come agonizingly close to beating Lucario, but we never can. He's still faster than us and takes so many hits to take down. Plus, his Drain Punch is healing him the whole time. I'm starting to think that level 60 will be enough to win, but level 60 is crazy high for the 4th gym. Usually we're level 70 by the Elite 4, and we're not even halfway there. Alright, all the way at level 60, and after 3 failed tries where we either got instantly crit or paralyzed by Lucario, we finally landed all of our hits just to realize I'm still too low level to win. This is brutal. I have to do this whole stupid fighting gym puzzle every time I come back here from a grind, and it's the slowest thing in the world. Alright, finally. At level 65, we do exactly enough damage that we can take out Lucario in a few hits, even with us getting paralyzed. I cannot believe how long that took. This is crazy. We're level 65 and currently on the way to the water gym. I don't know what to expect from this run anymore. Am I so over-leveled that I'll have an easy time until the steel gym? Or are we gonna run into another random one Pokemon that totally shuts us down? Let's just hope that the rival fight outside of the water gym doesn't cause issues. Okay, the rival fight was pretty easy. He didn't cause any real issues. Yeah, our attack is down from the start, and that's annoying, but it's pretty common in this game, so I'm used to it. Platinum and Fire Red just love mandatory fights with Intimidate. So right away, the Water Gym took a bunch of tries. Water Onix lowers our attack from Intimidate and loves to outspeed us with Waterfall, so we tend to flinch a lot. On this run, we flinch and lost Rollout, but we were able to build it back up and take him down after he used his Hyper Potion. We were around half health as Floatzel came out, and right away we were taken to only 5 health off Brine. We one-shot him, but the Shell Bell didn't heal us by much. Last was Quagsire, who we were thankfully faster than, and thus one-shot with our built-up rollout. I don't like how close that was, though. So, while we travel, I've gotta say, I'm pretty worried that this run is gonna go like the Shinx one, where I literally couldn't even beat it. I know that I had a horrible ability in that run, so that's a big part of it, but Bidoof is about as weak as Shinx, so it could go the same. I'm really worried about any fight where they're gonna be faster than us at level 100. Then I might have to use a Quick Claw, and that means no more Shell Bell for healing. We have Cyrus, our rival, then the Steel Gym coming up. Cyrus should be easy, but the next rival fight is usually really hard. And the Steel Gym is probably gonna be a real big problem too. Let's hope for the best. I mean, the fight was a first try win where we swept him, but his Pokemon are all awful and yet outsped us and did a lot of damage. We took a defense drop and 2 hits from Pokemon half our level, and it took out half of our health. Bidoof is crazy bad. This is exactly what I was worried about. Okay, so the rival fight starts with Staravia being weak, but next is Heracross, who's faster than us and keeps using Brick Break. We take him down after taking a lot of damage, but next is Infernape, who's also faster than us and spams Brick Break. I can't learn anything super effective against fighting types, and we are too slow for it to matter anyway. I just have to get stronger. So I try again 4 levels later, this time holding a Quick Claw. Believe it or not, we actually do way worse. The healing from the Shell Bell was pretty important. The Quick Claw only works 25% of the time, so it rarely activates when we need it the most. I think the Shell Bell is still the path to victory here. After another few levels, we were able to get to the point where we're 1 hit away from taking out Infernape, but only when we use the Shell Bell. We have a speed of 72. We have to be close to outspeeding at least one of them soon, right? Isn't this exactly where we got brick walled in the Shinx run? Well, we've long since maxed out our effort values, and I don't see much of an alternative. So it's time to start using rare candies and see what level we can actually win this at. I'm gonna guess level 80. There's no way this fight requires higher than that. Right? The Steel Gym right after, on the other hand, that might take a while. Level 80, we ended up leaving both Heracross and Infernape with slivers of health, so they both get an extra hit in on us before we hardly take them down, allowing Floatzel to easily finish us off with Swift. I think I literally need only 1 more level. Okay, I didn't need 1 more level. Or 2. I actually needed 3. I still couldn't one-shot Heracross, but for no reason at all, he did Night Slash as the second move, doing almost no damage. Because of that, we took out the entire rival fight. I wish he just did that the first time. Man, I'm really starting to think I can't win this run. How bad is the Steel Gym gonna be? You know what? The Steel Gym wasn't bad. Bastiodon at the end took forever to take down, but honestly, it wasn't that hard a fight. Finally, the grind paid off. Okay, so we're in a weird part of the run. I'm massively over-leveled, yet take so many free hits from being slow that we're routinely losing to trainers who use Pokemon half the level of us. The regular trainers are fine, but the big boss fights like our rival and gym leaders tend to go horribly. All these commanders we have to run around and fight are super easy, so I won't bother showing you those, but we've got the Ice Gym, Cyrus, and then the Distortion World Cyrus fight. The Ice Gym should be easy with rollout, and maybe the first Cyrus fight will be easy, but the Distortion World one is usually rough. Hey, at least having rare candy saves me a lot of time on failing the last Cyrus fight. I used to have to fail the fight, grind for ages in a cave, and then walk up the whole mountain and go through the whole Distortion World again, just to see if I could win yet. Rough times. I appreciate that you guys are fine with the late game rare candies now. As long as our effort values are maxed out, rare candy boosts our stats the exact same as grinding. So the Ice Gym was pretty easy as expected. Rollout is super effective against our team, so it did a great job. We still took quite a few hits since we're slow, but we were alright. After that is Cyrus. As expected, it went super easy, but we have to fight him again real soon, and he'll be much harder that time. We're over-leveled. Let's head straight on over. Near the top of the mountain is this required double battle where we team up with our rival, and it's usually slow, but this time it was really slow. Both our opponents and our partner just stall for ages. It's awful. We never came even close to losing, but it took forever. Hey, while I'm in the Distortion World, did you know that the Pokemon Randomizer has some updates? Yeah, I had no idea. Turns out that their old website that I had been using this whole time just wasn't kept up to date, and I didn't have the newest version. So I went and found the newest version, and it has an option to let you skip to the end of the Distortion World. That's amazing, and would save me a lot of time in these runs without making it any easier. And you know who forgot to check off the option when making this ROM? Me. So here I am, stuck doing the Distortion World yet again. Alright, the horrible Cyrus fight. We lose over and over and over. I'm using a silk scarf at this point since it seems to get us the farthest into the fight, but we're slower than his whole team, so he gets a ton of free hits on us. Everything hits us pretty hard, and half the runs I have to quit right away because Houndoom at the start can burn us with a Will-O-Wisp. I gotta level up, I got no choice. After an agonizing 18 tries at level 93, we had this run where we didn't flinch or get crit from Water Onyx's Waterfall, or from the Wind Slash from Crobat right after. I thought I had finally won when Weavile hit Ice Punch, we landed with 5 health left, then got frozen solid and lost. Guys, I've been sitting here trying this fight for over an hour, just at level 93. The previous Cyrus fight was almost a sweep. How is this so brutal? Another 5 tries later, we finally make it to the end again, and this time Weavile uses Fake Out and critically hits. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and level a little more to make sure that Weavile doesn't just Fake Out then Ice Punch me, because I'm now realizing that he easily could have done that on the previous attempt and he just didn't. 2 levels and 4 tries later, we make it to the end, he does the Fake Out and Ice Punch combo, we survive with 5 health, and we didn't one-shot him. This is with a Silk Scarf. I think I literally have to max out my level to win. Alright, a few tries later at level 10, and we're now faster than Water Onyx, so we get to the end of the fight with more health left. We probably wouldn't have gotten a one-shot on Weavile, but we crit, so this horrible fight is finally over. All that's left is the Electric Gym. So the Electric Gym was a pretty easy first try with Return, but quite a bit of his team was faster than us and did pretty crazy damage. We won, and I think it would have taken a lot of luck to lose, but man, I don't feel great about the upcoming parts of the run at all. So we're in the last little bit of travel in the run. We've got the rival fight, then the Elite Four, then the Pokemon Champion. I'm gonna be honest though, I don't think I'm going to win this run. I learned my lesson from the Shinx run. Platinum can be brutal sometimes. I think it's entirely possible that we don't end up beating our rival in the upcoming fight, since we're so bad against fighting types. And even if we do end up getting past him, I don't think we're making it to the Pokemon Champion. I've still got to try though. My guess is, if we can beat our rival, then we can probably get to Lucian, but I don't think we're getting past Lucian. And if we somehow do, no way we're beating the Pokemon Champion. That's my prediction. It's the pre-Elite Four rival fight. First is Staravia, and it outspeeds us and hits close combat. Hey, that's the move that, like, half his team knows. isn't it? So we take it down, and next is Heracross, who hits close combat, and we nearly go down. Naturally, since he's faster, he takes us out on the next hit. I think this run is over. The only thing I can think of is to use rest, but if they two-shot us, then that doesn't really help us. So I think I just lose. You know, I'd love to say that's not how I expected it to go, but I kind of had the feeling I'd lose. Personally, I was thinking I'd at least make it past the Elite Four, at least, you know, on paper when I saw, oh, I'm doing a Bidoof Platinum run. I can probably beat that on paper. But man, this has got to be one of the hardest rival fights in the first 5 generations. At least if we're counting rival fights before beating the game. I really hope you guys like that run. The next challenge is going to be up in 2 weeks since I've got a lot of administrative stuff to catch up on. In fact, admin week is when I'm going to be editing this video. I'm planning on editing it in a live stream because I've been wanting to live stream my editing of a run for a while now. So I thought the next time that I end up with quite a bit of time and I do a run that doesn't take horrifically long in terms of like the script, because the length of the script is basically the length of the video. Next time that happens, I would live stream on YouTube me editing it. So if you want to see the editing process of this, I think it'll be up in the live section on my YouTube channel. I don't think I'm going to upload it as its own video, but it'll be in the live section as a VOD, a video on demand, you know, like a stream that has been broadcasted and is now up as a video that you can watch. Which means it won't be quite as polished as a lot of my stream VODs that I upload where I'd like edit it a little bit and cut the beginning and end. Might not be as polished as that, but you can skip around in it and learn how I edit. Which is good because I made an editing tutorial on how I edit these challenges years ago and I made a whole playlist and people find that helpful, which is awesome. I'm happy people still watch it. But I've gotten a lot faster at editing this in the last, I don't know, 2.5 years since I made that tutorial. So you'll probably still learn stuff if you want to watch that stream recording. Anyway, the challenges will be back on July 15th when I do my first Fallout New Vegas run in, I think, over a year. As always, I'm looking at your suggestions in the comments, in the challenge request section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. I'd love to do some kind of big fancy outro, and I'm sure you've heard this one before, but I'm real hungry. It's noon, I've had no food, I've had some water, I mowed the lawn in 24 degrees Celsius sunny weather, which is not that bad. It was pretty breezy and it was pretty nice. But you know, when you haven't eaten anything yet, it gets to you a little bit. And the longer I ramble here, the longer it's gonna be when I edit this, and everyone's gonna have to watch that. You know what? They might like that though. But if I ramble too much, it'll be like it's inflating the length of the video. And I know that some people like skipping this end bit. In fact, I'm fairly sure that more than half of the people who watch these channels do not know that I do these ad-lib outro things now, because I didn't do it for like the first 2 years of doing this. So my analytics tell me most people don't watch this bit, which means any of you who are hearing this right now, you're one of the few, you're one of the like, I don't know, 15, 10% who listen to this bit. I mean, I could do the Meowth thing again, right? Where I do that thing where I'm like, hey, say this thing that nobody has a reason to say in the comments. And if you say it, that means you saw the end and nobody else knows. Do the Meowth one again. Just put Meowth in your comments somewhere if you heard this bit. And anyone who didn't hear this bit, but they saw the thing in the challenge a few weeks ago with the Meowth thing, they'll think you're referencing that. But you've got the big brain. You've got the long brain. You're actually referencing this outro, and they'll never know. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.